Today on the show, Court and I have an awesome show. We're very, very excited. MLB the Show, early access impressions for you. We're going to break down like 5 things that we really, really love about this year's game. Court, let's have some fun. Let's go. It's ball season. Welcome to Xbox A. I'm one of your hosts, Matt. Joining me is the guy in the other chair. Snazzy background. He's ready for ball season. Here we go.
Court, I've been playing a lot of ball season this weekend.
Haven't you? So have I. We both went and got MLB the Show 22 early access. We're playing it on our Xbox Series X. And we both have the OLEDs to play on there because we're fancy boys. Yeah. Give me overall impressions. Give me a snapshot here, sir, of you turned it on, you're playing the game. What did you feel? What are you thinking?
I still laugh every time you turn on an Xbox and playing a PlayStation game. And
that threw me off again. Yeah, that does that.
Mind you, I spoiler alert, I also have it on the PlayStation 5. So I've been playing it on both consoles.
Fancy.
I see zero difference.
Okay.
Even the haptic feedback type DualSense thing, I don't think it makes a difference. But I can't stop playing this game.
Yeah.
Like I can't. Like I am so into Diamond Dynasty. I put out a tweet out there. I said, "Hey EA, do you want to make a good sports game? Just play MLB the Show and copy it." The way they integrate even their franchise mode, everything about the presentation value. Yeah. Like at the start of the game, how they do the presentation, the commentary, the graphics, the player animations. There's no a lot of times with like EA sports games, they'll just like put generic faces and stuff. Everyone looks great. Their batting stances. The ballparks look fantastic. Mind you, I did notice one thing. When you play in a ballpark that has water, the water looks weird.
They've never been able to crack water. They need a water guy. That's an interesting thing. Like when you look at the fountains and anything like that, it always looks like really rough textures that they're like, yeah, forget it.
But the Diamond Dynasty has become addictive. Like I'm addicted to it.
It's funny because I dabbled into. I know there are hardcore players of Diamond Dynasty out there that literally do their channels dedicated to it. I've always dabbled in it. Like, okay, player packs, all this, and this is the first year where I'm going to give it a real shot, just like you, got the early access, got the additional packs, everything. Started getting in there and realized there is so much depth to Diamond Dynasty that, yes, has been there before, but the way it is laid out, presented, the tutorials of it, as they walk through every single thing of like, this is what this is and this and this. Because if you are a new player to Dynasty and you haven't tried it out, I can totally see that being way too overwhelming and complicated when you're like, okay, give me cards, let me build out a team, let's go. But there are weekly challenges, like there are online single player. You can go in any number of directions to be able to collect XP, to be able to upgrade, to be able to get new packs. There's so much. So you're liking it, is what you're saying?
Yeah. So like, if Diamond Dynasty is my favorite thing, and I want to get into and I'll list off the game modes and I kind of a little bit how it works and such, because the reason why I like it is, as someone that doesn't play a lot of online multiplayer games, I'm not going to use this game to play online against other people. I'm going to still build my team, but they give so many options for someone to just play at home. So in Diamond Dynasty, you have Battle Royales. They're the online multiplayer mode that lets players draft their own team and they go head to head in these matches. They can play against other people. But then you also have the Conquest Mode, which is in a single player mode that works with strategic mini games similar to Risk, and you battle opposing teams to gain their territories. It's not my favorite.
I haven't tried it out yet.
They've added something else to it this year called Showdown, which is a single player mode that lets you draft a team, choose specific perks for your lineup, and taking on a series of challenges. And as you finish each challenge, you can either complete them or not. There's a score that goes on. Yep. So in the very last game, when you do the final showdown, like in one of them, it was Robbie Ray, the pitcher. I unlocked him, but when I went against him, we were tied. So all I had to do was score one run to win that showdown. But you can be, in the next showdown, I was losing 12-7. I had to come back. I didn't complete it on the next one. But you as you complete each showdown that's inside the showdowns, you can unlock great players. Like they'll give you diamond players and you get to choose which one you want to add to your roster, and your roster will get better and better. So by the final game, as long as you played well enough, your team is crazy pants.
I did that I tried Showdown and I really liked it because it's within that mode. And yeah, but similar to you, as I did just one round of Showdown, I was getting my butt whooped. Like I couldn't complete it.
Yeah, and then they have events. Events change every week, or 2 starting at launch. There's restricted competitions, require team modes up to specific kinds of players, and compete against other online. Then they also have moments, which is the single player mode that is often linked to player programs, and it lets you play out specific historic games, which you do a lot to unlock XP. And then they have the ranked seasons. But what I do like is I don't feel that this is very grindy, and I feel like the cards are very easily unlockable. When I was playing NHL 22 a lot last year, I was able to unlock a lot, but I felt it was a little grindy to get stuff because you need to open your daily packs that are free and so on and so forth. I felt so far, I've been able to. I played about 7 hours between the 2 consoles, and I did link them, and I'll explain that after. I was able to get some pretty decent cards. I was explaining to you, I've unlocked Ken Griffey Jr., I've got Johnny Damon, but those you get as you go through and you do the showdowns and such.
Yep.
You'll get a ton of XP, and you'll get to the certain levels. So I just feel like they make it so that everyone can enjoy the game regardless of your skill level. They do such a good job of not making it feel like you need to pay to win in this game.
I agree. I love the menus. I love how clean it is, the design. I'm not beaten over the head with get online, buy packs, use virtual currency. None of that is in your face at all. At the top, obviously, they have the kind of like just the sliders to be able to go through the menus of like, here are the top things going on right now because the game is out. But in no way do they ever make you feel like you to get in here, buy this, upgrade this, buy this. It's all there, but yeah, no point was I hit over the head with it. I love court things like March to October. That's fun. Right now, I was just going through just to try it out for a little while. I'm just doing March to October with the Mets and see how that's playing. Yeah, you're just like, okay. I try a lot of different teams, sir. Not just one. Played the Jays as my first game, just so you know.
That's okay.
And then I played Boston and New York. But yeah, did a little bit of the Mets. And I just love to be able to feel out different teams, players. Graphically, for me, the show is always number one, king across sports games, in my opinion. For the amount of detail they do, fans, they don't tend to change too much. They do add more every year, it feels like, for different fan animations and better reactions. So I noticed that some of the fans look the same. They have the same washed out face or whatever when they do it between innings. But I find the crowd and the sound design is always stellar in this. The sound design this year really did blow me away, where it was noticeable that there are key moments within the game. It's the bottom of the 7th. You got 2 out, you got guys on, and the crowd is coming alive. And you can really sense that when you're in big moments and bigger moments of the game. Even the last thing I'll say on just sound is like crack of the bat. I noticed that if you make good, solid contact,
perfect.
You do, you hear it. You really do hear it with the bat, and yeah, it's phenomenal.
And I'll say this: I play on dynamic mode so that it gets progressively. So right now, yes, it's a little bit easier, but it's getting harder and harder to play the game. I still, for some reason, I can't get my swing time down. Maybe I'm just old. I can't figure it out. I'm either sometimes I'm perfect. It depends on what pitcher's coming against, and for some reason, I'm having a harder time with lefties than I do with righties, which is kind of cool as playing the game. So I agree with you on the sound design. I find that the commentary that you have in the game. One thing I will say when I'm playing the moments and the showdowns and such, because there's not as much commentary, I turn down the game music.
Sure.
I'm not a big fan of, but that's just me personally. But I do find that as I was playing on my surround sound and such, whether I was on the PlayStation or on the Xbox, the PlayStation has the 3D audio and the Xbox has the Dolby Atmos. It's unreal.
Yeah.
How well the sound design is on this game and how much time and effort they put into this game. Let's be real
with
here.
Sony's
first party games are almost always 9 out of 10s. They do such a good job. And now that it's on Xbox, I can't not tell everybody to say, hey, even if you don't like sports games, give it a try. It's on Game Pass. It'll be there tomorrow. Like, don't even think twice. Download this game. It is so much fun.
It is. It's genuinely fun, and being able to change the settings too. If you do want to go for more of a simulation experience, or you want to play a little bit more casual, you just want to kind of arcade style, go through it quickly, hit some bombs, go for it. It's fun. The commentary, I was texting you over the weekend, just how that stood out the most. I played the show every single year, and Matt Vasgersian gets a little bit long in the tooth when you're constantly listening to him, and the refreshed commentary stands out, obviously, but I find it's just well done. It's consistent. They are doing more analysis. They are talking about key moments and history, and we're days into it. I'm not hearing the regurgitated lines over and over again. It'll come, but I genuinely love the commentary because it is a big part of it, right? You can turn the whole thing off, but I love listening to it. The amount of modes, like we've seen this every year with the show, it's always there. But what I do love is the accessibility the game gives you and just the depth. You're playing a baseball game, but to be able to go through exhibition, live updated rosters to March to October, your franchise, your Diamond Dynasty, it's kind of bottomless pit. It's this giant gobstopper of a game. So I am truly loving it.
And speaking of accessibilities, you can pretty much turn everything onto auto. You can have auto fielding on, auto running on. So for those people that don't have the dexterity of I don't know, I can't even give an analogy, but like people that need those accessibility features, they're there. I'm interested to hear a friend of the show what Marcus thinks of this game and the accessibility features, and I'm sure he'll let us know once he's played it. But this game is a must for me, and I don't think I'm going to be putting it down. Last year I played a ton of it, and I didn't think they can improve on the game, and I felt that they've gone that extra level, especially with the player animations this year.
Yep.
I just felt they look this is a next gen game. The bottom line, these players look good. When I'm using the Jays and I'm seeing Vladdy up to bat, and I'm just like, wow, I'm in shock on how good they look and how lifelike these player animations look. I was playing it, and my wife walked into the room, and she just looks at the screen. And she's like, "Oh, she for a second
thought
there
it was
a real baseball game." Yeah,
that's always been the key with the show, and kudos to them because they pump out another baseball game, an annualized game every year, and there's little polishes and little things, and some stuff is not always perfect. Some stuff they try and they go, okay, this mode or this feature doesn't really work for us, but I feel like they've truly nailed it. You can't get the gameplay mechanics down any tighter. I feel it's consistently good, and it's still there this year. Same as you. The player animations, it's all there. I love just the bokeh effect of the blurry background of your players when you have all the fans behind you and everything. They added on the new co-op feature as well. That's one of the newer things that they've been going with, and that's pretty cool.
And the crossplay.
So
we can play with PlayStation and Xbox. And what I will say to people, if you pre-ordered it or such, and you're going to have it on both consoles, what you need to do before you link, first go on their webpage, create an account. Okay? Then I would suggest going through the tutorial on both your Xbox and your PlayStation to get your packs. Open up all your packs, spend all your money from all your pre-order bonuses or just whatever bonuses they give you right off the start. Get those all into your Diamond Dynasty, then link the accounts, because then you're able to use those cards on either console.
Smart boy.
So once they get into your, I guess the servers for them, it's all there. Because if you don't, then it won't be there. What you got to do is unlink it, go in, unlock everything, then link again. So I was able to awesomely, because they give you these packs for the pre-order where you can get these legends, and I was able to get Mickey Mantle on one side and Vladdy Guerrero on the other side. I got Shohei Ohtani on both, but I sold them for a exorbitant amount of money on the second one. I was able to build a pretty awesome team real quickly just by using both consoles, and then that allows me for the seamless. And I'm talking, it is seamless. That if I turn on my Xbox or I turn on my PlayStation, I'm able to play this game regardless and pick up right where I was. I'm actually in shock.
It's fun to go through a game like this, and I'm going to wrap up my last point here on where you're talking about just how seamless things are. But it's refreshing when I play a game like the show, and there's no crashes, there's no glitches, and the loading is
hilarious.
Instant. You what?
Yep. I lost a bat. I don't know. I put the video out over the weekend.
At least, but I find like it's just minimal. Like it's such a polished experience, and that's refreshing. And being able to navigate between menus and stuff, and game modes. Really, really awesome.
I-
Absolutely love it.
You mentioned loading real quick though before we ask for everybody else's impressions, because I'm sure a lot of people that are watching this right now definitely played it over the weekend. I did find the initial loading screen to be because we're so used to all these games now with zero loads. I think they load everything in, and that's why everything moves so quickly, because there is, I want to time it. I think it feels like it's over a minute. It feels like forever because we're so used to no load screens now, but I think it's just over a minute.
I'll
That
give you
initial
that,
load
yes.
when you turn on the game, and there's no point. Quick resume, there's just 0 point. Because this is an online game, like most of them, I would suggest just exiting out of the game. Quick resume feature pretty much useless at this point because you have to go back in and reload it anyways.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately, quick resume is an awesome feature, but just doesn't work with an online game.
Let us know in the comments below, ladies and gentlemen, your thoughts on MLB The Show 22. Court and I are really, really loving it, but we'll have more updates on the game, and let us know. And if you guys enjoy this episode, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share all that good stuff, and we'll see you on the next episode.